Hello everyone and welcome back to Codekru. So one of the key features that makes TestNG so powerful is its annotation. So today we are going to focus upon TestNG annotations, but first we should know what is an annotation. So annotations are like tags or labels that we add to our code to give them some special instruction. An annotation does not change how the code functions, it simply provides additional instruction to either the Java compiler or during the program execution. So think of them as a sticky note. We might attach sticky notes to some files to mark them as important, reviewed, or to do. These sticky notes don't change the content of the files, but they give you enough information on how to treat them. So we can think of them annotations in a similar manner. So there are many annotations in TestNG and here is a list of them. We will put the article link in the description as well. So you can always look at our article whenever you need it. So that being said, do you know that you have already worked with one annotation which was add test annotation. So add test annotation, if you remember, we have used in our previous programs as well. It is normally used to convert a method into a test method. So if I run this class right now, you will see that it will execute 3 test cases. And if I remove add test from one of them, now if I run the class again, it will only execute 2 test cases only. So add test annotation converts a method into a test method. So this is how much annotations are important in TestNG. They will control the execution of test cases themselves. And in this video, we are going to focus more upon before and after annotations in TestNG. If I go back to the list of annotations, I'll see that there are many before and after annotations here. So you might wonder that how I'm going to remember each and every one of them, let alone remembering the execution order for the same. Don't worry, we have a way to remember it more efficiently. But before that, I want to tell you, why would we even need them? Why would we even need before and after methods at all? So if I scroll down, I'll see that before annotations, I used to set up some preconditions, like setting up configurations or initializing the resources. So this ensure that each test case starts with a clean and predictable state, and after annotations handles the post cleanup activities like releasing the resources or maybe closing some database connections as well. So they ensure that any changes made during the test execution are reversed such that it prevents the interference with subsequent tests. And as we discussed, there are so many before and after annotations like before suit, before test, before class, before method, and its counterpart after suit, after test, after class, after methods. There is one more annotation which is before groups, but we are not going to discuss about it. We are going to make a separate video, so you can always look at that for before groups and after groups. In this video, we are going to talk more about these annotations and the hierarchy for the same. So as I told you that there is an easy way to remember these annotations and the hierarchy between them. So if I go back to the code, I'll go back to the testng.xml file. We created this file in one of our previous video where we executed only a single test method. So let's say if I run this run this XML file now, you see that only test2 method was executed. So if you see the tag, you will see suit, test, class, method, right? This means if I use this XML file to remember the annotations, before suit will execute here before the suit tag, okay? Before test will execute before the test tag, before class will execute before the class tag. So if there are multiple classes here, let's say if I place one more class here, then before class will again execute here, right? And before method will execute before a method. So if I put it here, it will execute here before method. So if I include multiple methods, then before method will be executed before every method. So if I put it here, then let's say test3, so before method will execute 2 times here, okay? So if I overall conclude this, let me just remove this for simplicity. Before suit will execute before a suit, before test will execute before a test, before class executes before a class, before method executes before a method. Now many of the folks gets confused between before test and before method. They kind of use them in a synonymous way, but actually they are different. Before test executes before a test tag, and before method executes before every test method. Okay, so remember that these questions are also asked in an interview sometimes. So let me create some methods. I will annotate them with these annotations, and we'll see whether this execution order holds or not. So let me go back to the Codekru test. Let me annotate this again at the rate test. Okay, so I'm going to write all the four methods. Public void before suit. I'll just write the print command before suit method. I will annotate it with before suit. Similarly, I will create before class, and I will write before class here. I will write before test, before test, and here as well. And then I will mention before method, before method. Okay, so I have written all the four methods annotated with before annotations. So if I go back to the XML file, let's run this XML file. So as you can see, two test methods have been executed. So if I go to the console, I will see that before suit was executed first, then before test, then before class, then before method, then one test method were executed. Okay, then again there was before method that was executed. Okay, because there were two tests, so there were two times that before method was executed. Okay, and then the corresponding test was executed as well. So this was about before methods. Similarly, if I talk about after methods, so after method will be executed after a test method. Similarly, it will be executed here as well. After class will be executed after a class is has completed the execution. So it will be executed here. Then after test will be executed after a test is completed, or I can say after the test tag. Then after suit will be executed here when the suit has been completed. So always remember this XML file and the order of the execution. In this way you will easily able to remember the execution order. Otherwise it will become very difficult to remember the order of the execution. This way you have more clear understanding of the execution order. So let me just write the after counterparts in the same file. Let's say after suit, after class, after test, oh sorry, after test, after method. Let me just change the name of them. After suit, after suit, after class, after class, after test, after test, and then it was after method, after method. Let me save it. Let's go back to the XML file and let's run this file again. Now, if you take a look here, this order remained the same. A test method was executed. After that, after method were executed. If you remember, if you look at here as well in the XML file, then again a before method was executed, the actual test method that was executed, and then the after method that was executed. Then came the number of after class, after test, and after suit. So after class, after test, after suit. So this is how the hierarchy of various before and after annotations work in TestNG. This is it for our video today. If you found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you and see you in next video.